When you hear the name Spartacus, what comes to mind? A gladiator, right? Covered in sand and sweat, defying the might of Rome with a sword in his hand. But what if I told you that behind the rebellion, the battles, and the bloodshed, there was something more? A dream. A vision not of endless war, but of a peaceful city. A homeland for the enslaved, nestled safely beyond the snow-capped peaks of the Alps. This is the untold story of Spartacus' lost dream, and the fateful choice that kept it from becoming a reality. Spartacus wasn't just a brute force, he was a leader with a plan. After that legendary escape from the gladiator school in Capua, his first instinct wasn't to march on Rome. His objective was far more strategic, and in many ways, far more radical. He wanted to head north, cross the Alps, and leave the shadow of Rome behind forever. Beyond those mountains lay Gaul, lands untouched by Roman chains. He envisioned a new beginning, a place where former slaves could live as equals, build homes, and raise families, free from whips, masters, and the constant fear of Roman cruelty. His followers weren't just an army of hardened fighters. They were shepherds, farmers, blacksmiths, and artisans, men and women who had been torn from their homes and forced into servitude. Many of them didn't crave vengeance, they craved a normal life. For them, Spartacus wasn't just a general leading them into battle. He was a savior, a visionary offering them the incredible hope of rebuilding their shattered lives. He was offering them a future. Rome saw the threat immediately, and it wasn't just the armed rebellion that terrified them. A ragtag army of slaves was one thing, but Spartacus was building something far more dangerous: a nation. A nation of outcasts, founded on the principle of freedom, could inspire a chain reaction across the Italian peninsula. Imagine thousands upon thousands of slaves abandoning their posts, fleeing to this new sanctuary in the Alps. Rome's economy, which was built on the backs of slaves, would crumble. Its social order, its power, its very identity would be threatened. This wasn't just a revolt. It was an existential crisis. The Senate understood they couldn't allow Spartacus's dream to take root. Letting him escape to the Alps was not an option. So they dispatched their most ruthless commanders, men like Marcus Licinius Crassus, with one singular mission: crush the rebellion before it could reach the mountains and plant the seeds of a new world. The race to the Alps was on, and the fate of an empire hung in the balance. Against all odds, Spartacus marched his people north, securing victory after victory against Roman legions. At one point, freedom was tantalizingly close. The Alps were right there, a majestic gateway to safety and the realization of his dream. But then, in a moment that would change history, the dream began to unravel. Why? The reasons are debated by historians to this day. Some accounts suggest his men, emboldened by their victories and greedy for plunder, refused to leave Italy. They wanted to march on Rome itself. Others theorize that Spartacus himself was torn. Perhaps a simple life beyond the mountains felt like too small a prize after shaking an empire. Maybe he believed he could bring the entire Roman Republic to its knees. Whatever the reason, that moment of hesitation was fatal. Instead of crossing into safety, Spartacus and his army turned back south. The dream of a free city in the Alps dissolved, replaced by the grim reality of more battles, more bloodshed, and a war he couldn't possibly win. The mountains, which had been a symbol of hope and freedom, were left behind. And with them, so was the last chance for his people to live in peace. The rebellion ultimately ended in tragedy. Spartacus fell in battle, and thousands of his followers were captured and crucified along the Appian Way, a brutal, horrifying message from Rome to anyone who dared to dream of freedom. But while Rome could kill the man, they couldn't kill the idea. The vision of a homeland, a free city for the oppressed, lived on. For centuries, the story of Spartacus inspired countless others who fought against tyranny. His name became a symbol of resistance, hope, and the unyielding human desire to be free. In the end, Spartacus's story reminds us that even in the darkest of times, shackled and oppressed, people will always dare to imagine a better world. And sometimes, that dream is more powerful and enduring than any empire. So, was Spartacus just a warrior? Or was he the founder of a nation that never was? A free city that could have changed the course of history. The Alps were so close, and yet, so far. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories that history forgot.